You just noticed I said 8 instead of 8. If you rewound to check, congratulations, your brain just exposed itself. See, while most people's minds are on autopilot, yours is running a full security scan in the background. And that's not anxiety, that's depth. Stick around because I'm about to call out 8 microscopic thoughts that prove you're not overthinking, you're just thinking at a level most people don't even know exists. Number 8. You mentally rehearse conversations that haven't happened yet. Okay, be honest. How many times have you scripted an entire argument in the shower with someone who doesn't even know they're about to get destroyed? You've got rebuttals, comebacks, and a closing statement that would make a lawyer weep. Most people think this is paranoia. It's not. It's your prefrontal cortex running disaster simulations. You're not preparing for war. You're preparing for clarity. Deep thinkers don't just react to life, they pre-live it in 4K with director's commentary. But here's the kicker. You're not doing this because you're scared. You're doing it because your brain refuses to be caught off guard by its own ignorance. That's not overthinking. That's intellectual self-defense. Number 7. You can't enjoy a movie without analyzing the cinematography. Everyone else is crying at the breakup scene. You're wondering why the director chose a Dutch angle and what it says about the character's internal collapse. This isn't pretentious, it's pattern recognition on steroids. Your brain doesn't just consume content, it dissects it. You see the scaffolding behind the story, the lighting choices, the metaphor, and the color grading. Most people see a movie, you see a thesis. And yeah, it makes Netflix exhausting, but it also means you experience art on a level most people will never access. You're not watching life, you're reading it in 3 languages simultaneously. Number 6, you feel guilty for things that aren't your fault. Someone's upset, and even though you logically know you didn't cause it, there's this tiny voice whispering, "But what if you did?" This isn't low self-esteem, it's hyper-empathy. Your brain is so wired to understand cause and effect that it scans every interaction for invisible damage. You're not a people pleaser, you're a systems thinker who sees the butterfly effect in real time. Psychologists call this affective empathy overflow, when your mirror neurons fire so intensely that you don't just understand someone else's pain, you absorb it as if it's your own. Research from the Max Planck Institute shows that people with heightened empathy actually have more active insular cortices, the brain region responsible for emotional contagion, meaning you're literally neurologically wired to feel what others feel, even when logic says you shouldn't. The downside is you carry emotional weight that isn't yours. The upside is you're one of the few people who actually understands that actions ripple. And in a world of people who don't think past their own nose, that's a superpower disguised as a burden. Number 5. You remember embarrassing moments from 10 years ago in HD. It's 2 a.m., you're trying to sleep. Suddenly, your brain decides to replay that time you mispronounced quinoa in front of your crush in 2014. Full surround sound, director's cut. Why does your brain do this? Because deep thinkers don't just remember events, they archive them with emotional metadata. Your hippocampus isn't just storing memories, it's building a psychological database of every social miscalculation you've ever made. Scientists call this autobiographical memory specificity, and people with higher levels of it actually score better on emotional intelligence tests. While others need to repeat mistakes 5 times to learn, you learned it once, in excruciating detail, and your brain made sure you'd never forget. Most people forget and move on. You have a mental library of cringe indexed by year, location, and severity. It feels like torture, but it's actually your brain's way of saying, we will never make that mistake again. You're not haunted by the past, you're learning from it in real time. Let's continue with number 4. You can't stand small talk, but you crave deep conversations. How's the weather? Cool, cool. Let me just die inside real quick. You don't hate people, you hate shallow exchanges that go nowhere. Your brain is wired for substance, not filler. When someone asks, "How are you?" you genuinely want to talk about existential dread, your recurring childhood fears, or why we're all just pretending capitalism is fine. But instead you say, "Good, you?" And the moment passes. This isn't snobbery, it's intellectual hunger. Your default mode network, that's the part of your brain that's active during rest, is constantly, restlessly searching for meaning. Small talk feels like junk food to a brain that is absolutely starving for philosophy. And research backs this up. Studies consistently show that people who engage in more substantive, meaningful conversations report higher levels of happiness and life satisfaction than those who just stick to surface-level chat. Your brain isn't being difficult, it's literally wired to seek out the connections that actually matter, the ones that make you feel alive instead of just polite. And yeah, it makes parties awkward. But it also means when you do connect with someone, it's not surface level, it's soul level. You don't collect acquaintances, you collect people who get it. Number 3, you notice micro expressions no one else sees. Someone says, "I'm fine," but their voice dropped half an octave and their smile didn't quite reach their eyes. You caught it. They didn't even catch it themselves. This is your limbic system running high-end facial recognition software in the background of your mind. While most people take words at face value, you're reading the subtext, the body language, the shifting energy in the room. You're not paranoid, you're perceptive. The psychologist Paul Ekman found that these micro-expressions last for only 1/25th of a second, and most people miss them completely. But your brain? It's recording, analyzing, and cross-referencing everything faster than conscious thought. It's why you just know something's off, long before you can ever explain why. The problem? You see things people don't want you to see. You notice when someone's faking enthusiasm, when a relationship is slowly dying, when a friend is lying to themselves. It can be exhausting. But it also means you're one of the few people who actually sees others, not just the masks they choose to wear. Number 2, you question things everyone else accepts. Why do we work 40 hours a week? Why is this considered the right way to live? Who decided this was normal? While everyone else is following the script, you're asking who wrote it. This isn't rebellion for the sake of it, it's intellectual curiosity on a cellular level. Your brain doesn't just accept defaults, it interrogates them. Philosophers call this epistemic curiosity, the deep-seated drive to question not just what is, but why it is. Studies even show that people with high epistemic curiosity have more active anterior cingulate cortexes, which is the part of the brain responsible for detecting conflicts between our expectations and reality. Most people find comfort in tradition. You find questions. And yeah, it might make you the annoying one at Thanksgiving dinner, but it also means you're not sleepwalking through life. You're awake. Painfully, brilliantly awake. And number 1, you think about thinking. Here's the big one. Right now, you're not just listening to this, you're analyzing how you're listening to it. You're aware of your own awareness. You are thinking about the fact that you are thinking. This is metacognition, and it is the hallmark of deep thinkers. Most people experience life. You experience yourself experiencing life. It's like having a director's commentary running in your own head 24/7. Neuroscientists have found that this metacognitive ability is directly linked to your density of gray matter in your prefrontal cortex. Literally, the more you think about your thinking, the more your brain physically develops. You're not just introspective, you are actively evolving your own consciousness with every single self-aware thought. It's exhausting. It can be isolating, but it's also the reason you understand yourself better than most people ever will. You're not just living, you're studying life while living it. So if you recognized yourself in even half of these points, congratulations. You're not broken. You're not overthinking. You're just operating on a frequency most people don't have access to. And yeah, it's lonely sometimes. But the world doesn't need more people who think less. It needs more people like you, who think deeper, feel harder, and see further. Thanks for listening. Now go overthink this. I know you will.